Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. This simple but powerful phrase invites us to reflect on the importance of today's decisions for tomorrow's success. We're at the start of a new year, that moment when promises and resolutions multiply. But how many of these promises really stand the test of time? The truth is that many resolutions fail, not for lack of effort, but for lack of long-term vision. In the investment world, Buffett is a living example of how focusing on the long term can generate extraordinary results. He doesn't look for quick wins or get seduced by fads. Instead, he plants carefully chosen seeds, waiting patiently for them to grow. But what many don't realize is that this philosophy goes beyond the financial market. It can transform your life, your goals, and your New Year's resolutions. Imagine for a moment that you treat your resolutions like investments. Instead of focusing only on the immediate results, you visualize the cumulative impact they can generate over 5, 10, or even 20 years. That changes everything, doesn't it? In this video, we'll explore how to apply the power of the long term to your New Year's resolutions, inspired by Warren's approach. You'll learn how to set solid goals, invest in consistent habits, and above all, avoid giving up at the first signs of difficulty. After all, success is the sum of small daily efforts that accumulate over time. If you want to turn your resolutions into lasting results and build a truly prosperous future, stay with me. This video will reveal the strategies that can make 2025 the year you start planting the trees that will shade your future achievements. He built his fortune and reputation on a fundamental principle: the power of compound interest. He often compares this phenomenon to a snowball that grows as it rolls down the mountain, accumulating more and more snow. This concept, however, doesn't just apply to money. It is equally valid for our habits, our decisions, and of course, our New Year's resolutions. Warren doesn't invest in just any company. He looks for solid businesses with clear foundations and a consistent track record. Similarly, when setting your resolutions, ask yourself, does this goal have a solid foundation? Is it in line with my values and long-term objectives? For example, many people make vague promises, such as, I want to make more money, or I want to get fit. These goals are like speculative stocks. They may seem attractive in the short term, but they lack clarity and sustainability. Instead, turn these resolutions into grounded goals, such as, I'm going to save 20% of my monthly income to invest in my retirement. I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes at least 5 times a week. These goals have clear and measurable fundamentals, which makes it easier to monitor your progress and stay committed. In the financial market, Buffett often says that he doesn't buy stocks, he buys businesses. This reflects his long-term vision, in which the focus is not on the daily performance of an asset, but on the intrinsic value of the investment over the years. Applied to New Year's resolutions, this means that you should focus on building consistent habits, rather than looking for quick results. Consider someone who decides to learn a new language. Instead of trying to master the language in 6 months, the equivalent of wanting a quick return, this person could invest in 15 minutes of practice every day. It's not much in the short term, but tremendously effective over a year or more. A famous study conducted by researchers at University College London showed that it takes an average of 66 days to consolidate a habit. In other words, you need to plant the seed and water it daily, even if the fruits seem far away. Warren teaches us that patience and consistency are the best allies for achieving significant results. In the investment world, a common mistake is to sell promising stocks too early out of fear or impatience. Similarly, it's easy to give up on a resolution at the first hurdle. How many times have you started the year promising to adopt a healthier diet, only to abandon it within the first month? He reminds us that true growth happens over the long term, far from the volatility of momentary ups and downs. To apply this to your resolutions, it's essential to develop emotional resilience. Imagine that your resolution is to save more money. After 2 months, you face an unexpected expense and feel that your plan has gone down the drain. Here's the secret. Instead of abandoning your goal, treat it as a natural bump in the road to success. Adjust your plan, but stay committed to the bigger goal. Warren often quotes that you don't have to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. The same applies to your personal goals. Small, consistent steps may seem insignificant on a day-to-day basis, but over time, they create a significant transformation. For example, if you decide to save $50 a week, you may feel that you're doing too little. But at the end of a year, you will have saved 2,600 reais. More importantly, you will have created the habit of saving, which is the real asset. The key is to start small, but start. Don't underestimate the impact of doing a little every day. New Year's resolutions don't have to be seen as a short-distance race, but rather as a marathon. By choosing goals in line with your values, investing in developing habits, and resisting the temptation to give up, you'll be applying the same principles he uses to build wealth in the financial market, only in the context of your personal life. If there's one thing Warren has mastered, it's the art of thinking long-term, even in the face of challenges and uncertainties. Applying this philosophy to his New Year's resolutions means adopting a patient and strategic approach, recognizing that real progress happens over years, not weeks. Buffett believes that the financial market is a machine that transfers money from the impatient to the patient. This wisdom also applies to everyday life. In a society where everything seems to need instant results, patience is a competitive advantage. For example, many people start the year with the desire to lose weight. They invest in extreme diets and intense exercise, only to give up a few weeks later, frustrated by the lack of immediate results. But the long-term approach, based on small, consistent changes, is much more effective. The question is, are you willing to plant seeds that may only bear fruit in a year's time? If the answer is yes, you're already on your way to differentiating yourself from the majority. In the investment world, he is famous for looking for undervalued stocks, companies with great potential that the market has temporarily ignored. This principle can be applied to the way we choose our resolutions. We often place great emphasis on popular or flashy goals, ignoring important aspects of our lives that, if worked on, could generate extraordinary returns. For example, instead of just focusing on making more money, how about working on managing your mental and emotional health? Instead of seeking external recognition, how about investing in strengthening your personal relationships? These undervalued actions may not bring immediate gratification, but they have the power to profoundly impact your quality of life in the long term. Warren teaches that market crises are not moments of panic, but of opportunity. He recommends being greedy when others are afraid. In life, personal crises or temporary failures can also be seen as turning points. Imagine that you have committed to saving a portion of your income, but you face a financial emergency in the 3rd month. Many people would abandon the plan completely, considering it a failure. However, Buffett shows us that it is in these moments that resilience and creativity become most valuable. You can readjust your goal, look for additional sources of income, or even temporarily reprioritize, but never abandon the main strategy. Compound interest is one of the most powerful forces in the financial world. With each reinvestment of earnings, the amount grows exponentially, creating substantial wealth over time. This concept also applies to personal development. For example, if you dedicate just 15 minutes a day to learning something new, be it a language, a professional skill, or a musical instrument, those minutes compounded over the course of a year add up to almost 92 hours of practice. Over 5 years, that's more than 450 hours. This accumulation is what differentiates stagnant progress from exponential growth. Similarly, by making a daily effort, however small, towards your resolutions, you will be leveraging the power of personal compound interest. He regularly reviews his investments to ensure that they remain aligned with his long-term goals. With your resolutions, the same principle applies. Reviewing your goals on a monthly or quarterly basis can help you make adjustments and prevent small deviations from becoming major obstacles. For example, if you've decided to dedicate more time to your family, but realize that the routine is taking up your whole day, it's time to adjust. Perhaps you could set specific times to spend time with your loved ones or plan regular activities together. Incorporate Buffett's values into your resolutions, because he didn't get rich overnight. He achieved success because he always kept his focus on what really matters: consistency, patience, and the ability to ignore distractions. In the same way, your resolutions can be the basis for lasting transformation, as long as you treat them as an investment in yourself. In the end, the most powerful resolutions are not those that bring quick wins, but those that shape who you become throughout your life. Buffett built his fortune by applying simple but profoundly effective principles: patience, consistency, and long-term vision. By incorporating these ideas into your New Year's resolutions, you not only increase your chances of success, but also completely transform the way you approach personal and professional growth. Think of your resolutions as a tree that you are planting today. It may take time for the first fruits to appear, but with care, patience, and dedication, it will grow strong and provide shade, fruit, and beauty for years, perhaps decades. Warren once said, "No matter how great the talent or effort, some things take time. You can't produce a baby in a month by getting 9 women pregnant." The same goes for your resolutions. Respect the time needed to achieve solid, lasting results. And remember, it's not just about achieving goals, it's about who you become in the process. If you liked these lessons and want to learn more about how to achieve financial and personal success inspired by great investors, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll be sure not to miss any content that can transform your outlook on finances, habits, and achievements. See you in the next video.